What's up, Tempo family? It's your girl Tiana here, wishing you a very happy Martin Luther King Day on Tempo. Today, our featured artist is Yussuf Migoko, originally from Tanzania, currently residing in Kingston, Jamaica, who released
That's
his
right.
music video. And for those of you watching that are interested in having your music video aired on the Caribbean's #1 entertainment channel. You can submit your music directly to me at TCOLVERT@temponetworks.com, and I will help you get your music video featured across the Caribbean and tri-state area. Reach the masses and get your music video the exposure that it truly deserves. Thank you so much for joining me today, Yussuf.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and happy Martin Luther King Day to you guys as well.
So I want to start by asking you, how did you get started in the music industry?
Funnily enough, it was during my time in the States, because I was born in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, moved to England, and then ended up in Jamaica. That's where I met reggae. But then went to college in
Mm-hmm.
the States, and there because I was in the States, I was mostly doing R&B hip hop stuff, and it's just like it was an escape from everything else, from the sports, from just being active with other things. Music has that little gift where you can just kick back, relax, and lose yourself in the music. Like what Bob says, when the music hits you, you feel no pain. So sometimes you just need that escape, and that's how it began. I mean, my first single was Invincible, funny enough. That
Mm.
yes, yeah. But it was always fun with my music. It was a place where I could go enjoy a happy space, then that kind of vibe, and just
So you've
kept
lived
on.
in you've lived in different places. Did you experience any culture shock between Tanzania and the U.S. or
Do
Kingston?
you? Well, funny enough, because I went to all the. I mean, I'm from a coastal tribe. That's why you hear the
Mm.
Zaramo label, and I'm a Zaramo tribesman. So when I moved from there, we're always, even to the States, it was down to Florida. So we're on the coast, and then Jamaica, it was the same thing. We're close to
Ah,
the beach. So it was always similar environment. I guess that's where my soul was attracted to. So yeah, it wasn't a big shift, I would say. I mean, what I missed the most was the food. I mean, of course, different sounds and the music, but the food, boy, I can do some
how is the
pillow, and
food different?
it's that the different spices we use, and then because we're
Oh,
where we are now, we have kind of that influence from the Mediterranean, and so we have a lot, finger foods in, we're eating with our hands, and a lot of nice dishes like that. So it was, it's different from Jamaican style, but I love Jamaican food too. Your curry goat, your oxtail, your jerk chicken. So no, it's,
my
it's good.
favorite.
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. I love food. I love food. So yeah. So that was the experience coming to music.
Now, the
Invincible.
lyrics in Never Stop Missing You are very powerful. What was the inspiration behind making this song and this music video? Was it a personal experience?
Yes, it actually was. And I mean, as you know, death is no one runs away from. No, every family has that period when they'll have to come to grips with someone passing, one of their loved ones. And actually, this
Hmm.
song was a tribute to one of my good friends. He was actually like a mentor to me growing up in Jamaica, and
Hmm.
he passed to like just around COVID. Area where a lot of underlying issues cause a lot of people to pass away. So he was one out of that, and I mean, it was a
Hmm.
deep cut, and like you said, it took a while for me to get it out, and the
Hmm.
song eventually was where I just poured a lot of it out into. And then like a year and a half after that, another mentor passed away too. So it was time to
Ah,
let this song go out. So
mhm.
it's been really emotional. Really
I know a
emotional.
lot of people can identify with Never Stop Missing You since COVID, including myself. I lost my father. So many
Sorry to
people
hear.
died
Condolences.
within the last 2 years, and people
Yes.
didn't see it coming. It was just
No,
so sudden. You didn't
true.
know who was going to survive. It's like perfect timing. I'm so glad that you created this song. I think it touches a lot of people's hearts and makes people feel less alone in their grief.
And I
Grief is
appreciate
just
that.
such a strong pain, but it's a part of life, and we all experience it from one degree to another.
True.
What does the meaning of this music video have to you?
To me, it's we did a few of the scenes that, like, you saw me in my traditional African attire for when I was on the
Hmm.
beach walking, and I was trying to, because my father passed away a couple of years as well, but I wasn't able to go back to Tanzania to perform the rites. So that part in the video is actually me also just getting to at peace with
Okay.
that, because yeah, for whatever reasons, even when COVID was going on, when you couldn't travel,
Mhm.
you were separated from
Yeah,
all time, so even you couldn't be there for your loved ones when you needed
made
to
it
be.
so much harder.
And yeah, it was tough. And now, so the song in that sense gave me a little bit of closure to a couple of those moments. So yeah, man, it's deep, and I even can't listen too much of it too long. I have to go in and out because it's the
Aww.
emotions attached to it. But yeah, man, I was happy that I was able to finally get it out there, because I was working on an EP, and this track actually wasn't on the EP coming in because it was more for the tribute. And but as the more people heard it, the more they're excited about it and wanted to
Hmm.
hear more from me about it and the story. And so
Hmm.
yeah, it's worked. I know it's tough. It's a tough issue, and like you heard in the song, you never know what words to say, and what you could have said while we were alive. And
Hmm.
one day, just everything just passes like that, and unexpectedly, like you said. So it's one of them. But like, the reminder is that no matter how much time passes, you never stop missing them, and in your heart, they're alive. So even more,
Hmm.
you never stop missing them, because people think you forget
This
because
music
people are
video
gone. Uh-huh.
This music video in particular stands out from any other music video airing on Tempo right now. It's like a moment to honor those that passed away, and it's
Right.
it's much needed right now as we're all getting back to everyday life. You know, just to remember those that were in our lives and who meant so much to us and who we lost suddenly. How did you want this song to impact your listeners?
You hit the nail on the head right there when you said, like, I think because of how life has been, especially after COVID, where
Hmm.
everybody got hit, and all of a sudden a lot of people were just flat on their faces, call it that, then,
Yeah.
not realizing that life could change that suddenly. So this was like a moment where you just stopped everything you're doing, sat back, appreciated life,
Mhm.
reached out to those that were around you that were still alive, and you still had an opportunity to. So that's what I want, the impact of this song, just to remind people that tomorrow isn't there for everybody. You don't know when your day is. So we shouldn't take it for
Yeah.
granted that you're going to see me tomorrow, you're going to see your best friend tomorrow. So each day you
Mhm.
can, every few days or so, just take a moment where you appreciate, because the way life is set up, everybody's just moving so fast to either meet,
Yes.
paying their bills, they're not actually living. A lot of us, they're not actually
Yes.
getting to
You speak the
live life.
truth.
We're kind of just
Yes.
grinding. Yeah, but in the middle of that
Mhm.
grind, you still have to try and
They need to take a
enjoy.
deep breath.
Exactly. You need to take that deep breath. And this is my deep breath here. Because it's different from all my other songs. I'm more lovers rock, that kind of vibe.
Mhm.
That's what the EP has been built around. But come on, we need the reminders every now and then, and that's what this
Mhm.
song did. Just brought me back down and just gave me that reminder.
Can
So
you
it's
tell us
very
a little bit more about your wardrobe in this music video?
Yes. So one of my big sponsors here since I moved to Jamaica was Tanya Cameron from Shades of Africa. Even this is a piece from her. So instead of, because
Ooh.
it's so hard to go back home, I usually, if I'm not in the States getting my wardrobe, I usually go to, she's my Jamaican link for all my African clothes. They're an Etel, a store called Etel, but yeah man, Tanya Cameron from Shades of Africa, she gets, so she actually loaned me that piece that I wore in the music video.
Oh.
Yeah man, and then this is another one I like from her collection. So she designs other things for me for like formal events that I have. And yeah
Hmm.
man, so it's I wish I could be closer to home to pick out more of what I want, but
Hmm.
I'm enjoying it from even this side. So Africa is right in Jamaica, which I love. Staying
And can you tell
closer.
us a little bit about that basketball scene with the little boys? Why did you choose to include that clip in Never Stop Missing You? How did it help tell
Well,
the story?
well, that did, because although our background was mostly tennis and football, there were times when, just for the social aspect of it, we just play basketball together, because it wasn't so much like work. It was just like a fun time to have a pickup game. Anybody could play. Is a team sport. So that was just to show that these kids, they grew up playing in with that kind of bond, grew up playing together in basketball, and then as they grew older, that kept them together and kept the friendship strong. And then
Mm.
he passed away. So there was that void now going
Hmm.
forward, and that's what creeps up on you really fast. The things that you do without thinking, just going out there playing a game of football just with your friends, and you're getting exercise, you're releasing some steam, so that helps with your lifestyle. So just giving you that escape as well. So yeah, man, that's what I had in mind with the basketball court. 'Cause I'm not really good at it, but because he played and it was fun. Yeah, I know. I didn't grow up playing basketball, but it's always fun to try new things, and that was one of the things that we all could try together. And nobody was like pulling that
Hmm.
Jordan or Steph Curry business on us. We could all fail together,
Hmm.
and yeah, but it was still a
What
good.
part of this music video production did you get the most enjoyment out of?
Wow, that was probably the scene by the waterfront, because, like I said, I love the water, I love the beach, and just walking
Hmm.
along, just looking out in the sunsets, just enjoying a full day from being there in the day after lunch until you watch the sun. Next door to us was a surfing place, where all the guys come down and surf. So it was just that it's a beautiful transition seeing that. So that was fun to do, because just out on the I think you see it in the video too. There are a couple times when the birds were just coming down and catching the fish and going back up there. So that was,
Yes, that was
and then there was some on the
a great
boat. So yeah, man, there was some nice just in the backdrop, not planned or anything, just in the backdrop. It was just nature doing its thing, and yeah, that was refreshing to see, because I love that. I mean, for me, I like summers. I normally go to Maine, like at Camp Andrew, and have like a,
Mhm.
a nice escape and recovery in the woods. So I like being that close to nature every now and then. A break from the city life. Yeah, helps me get inspired as well through it.
And how has your music style evolved since when you first started to now?
A lot more diversity for sure. Because back then, because I was in the States, I was doing a little bit more R&B, hip hop. Then I came to
Mhm.
Jamaica and started with getting into the reggae a little bit more. And then at the end of it,
Mhm.
now I was adding some Afro beats to it as well. So I'm going back to Africa right there. So that was a good, nice mix of the 360, coming to the West, then going back, going to Jamaica, then going back home. So it's a lot. It's a lot of fusions. So as I find different producers to work with, I'm able to bring out certain things more. So that's been
Wonderful.
the exciting part and challenge too. So I like to
What's
write.
the best piece of advice that you could give to an up and coming artist that's maybe watching right now? Want
For
to be in your shoes one day?
right, for them, I would say just yourself with the right energy. Because at the end of the day, even for the best of us, there are lots of times when we're gonna fall down, fail, and not feel like we're worth,
Yeah.
we question our worth. But I mean, the right people
Yes.
around you, at that time will encourage you to just trust the process and go through it, because
Hmm.
you'll have good days, you'll have down days, you'll have days when you want to just give it up,
Yes.
and so you have to stay. It's a process. That is, and once you keep people close to you that are positive, then you'll do well. You'll do well out there, because at the end of the day, you want. I think people, because of how people measure success, they think is really just the money and the likes and that fame. But you want to
Yes.
achieve your best at the end of the day, and you want those
Yes.
lessons to take you
Well said.
to that place. So yeah, that is for them, because at the end of the day, whether you make the money then or not, you'll feel accomplished within yourself. I think for a lot of people, that's
Yes.
that's that's more important than that fake image, and yeah, they want real. They want
What
something real.
legacy? What
Huh?
legacy do you want to leave on the world through your music?
That I tried a lot, failed a lot, kept trying, and yeah, kept trying, and lived my best life. The end of the day, that's what that's there's because I mean I grew up, I matured through a process where in the earlier years we wouldn't take the breaks. I wouldn't, like, we'd just be working towards a certain project and deadline, and in between that we weren't actually taking time to appreciate life, appreciate the small victories, and
Hmm.
sometimes take a vacation with the family, sometimes go out with the friends to hear, and just so I guess waiting to excel then. So instead of trying to just wait for that one big moment when you, like a young artist, one big moment when the bust, that's the only time they're really celebrating. You just celebrate the highs and lows up until you get to that point, that journey. So yes, life is a journey. So you want to
Hmm.
celebrate those pit stops. And that's what I encourage most people. And from my legacy too, is that, it's always a growing process there. Live your best life now.
What can our followers look forward to seeing from Yusuf over the next year or so? What are you working on next?
So I'm working on an EP. Like I said before, it was at the start of the journey last year when we were getting rhythms in and tracks, everything. It was really more of a lovers rock sort of package. But after the experiences, and I kind of opened it up more to include life, every different avenues of the life. So it's not just all love songs, but there are songs of, like, you see this one about sending your loved ones off and missing them, and then there's one about faith, just inspiring those
Hmm.
coming up to keep the faith and going. Of course, the lovers rock ones, because I love the women, love the ladies, always have. And then relationships too, because there's so much in the mix of that, and trying to keep the positive side as a focus. And yeah, so a lot of, and dancing, of course, I like dancing, so we have some party music in there as well. So I'm
Where can
excited.
our followers follow you on social media to keep up with your EP and your music and where you'll be?
So as a start, you can follow me on Tempo, vote for my video. But they're, they're also on IG, Yussuf Music. That's my, so at
Mhm.
YUSSUFMMUSIC, right? Music. And then the same with my Facebook, Yussuf Music. The whole of my accounts though are on Linktree. So if they have Linktree, linktr.ee/Yusuf, they'll get all of my links
Mhm.
there for my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So yeah, SoundCloud, and all the links are in there. And they can shoot me an email anytime as well, yusufm.music@gmail.com.
And where can we purchase your music if you want to buy
Yes,
it?
so right now Zojak has been my distributor, so I'm on iTunes, Spotify, so all the major platforms. They'll be able to go up there. The music videos on YouTube as well that you can get there and see, and I have more links on there as well. And then, their favorite platforms to buy and purchase music. I have it sent all over, so I'm excited for that.
And is there anyone on your team that you'd like to give a shout out to before we wrap it up?
Of course. I mean, the biggest supporter has been my mom. She's part of the management team. Yes, my mom, Aisha
Yay,
Molende.
mom.
Yes, so mom couldn't do it there, and my sister is also involved. So it's a whole family movement, and both my families on both this side and in Tanzania. Stampede has been helping me on the ground with the music distribution, and then I know you're going to send it to all your friends. So I'm thanking you too in advance, and just my good friends around me. Too many to name, so I don't want to leave anyone out, but they know themselves, and they've been their support to me throughout the whole time. So I have to give thanks to that crowd, that nice core. But yes, I'm excited for 2023. It's going to be a magical year.
Me too. And this is a beautiful way to start. You're airing on
Oh, trust me.
Tempo.
Thank you. I'm glad I contacted you. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I've thoroughly enjoyed this interview. I love the music
Likewise.
video. It touched my
Thank
heart.
you.
I'm going to
Oh
keep it
man,
near and
so
dear
good.
to me. I
So
totally
good to hear.
identified with it. And I'm so glad that you put this out there into the world for all of us. Thank you.
Man, you're the best. Trust me, and thank you for the support always. And I'll just keep writing and keep, trying to bring my best out with each project and share with you
We'll
guys.
be in touch.
Definitely. Can't wait, man. One love tempo. One love Yusuf M. It doesn't